Good morning, students. Today we are going to know about on concept that is already we studied, that is the examples of natural selection. What is natural selection? That we know the organism which is well adapted to the environment is selected by the nature. Here we are going to study few examples of natural selection. The very good example, very suitable example is industrial melanism. What we are going to study in industrial melanism? We are going to study about two populations of insects. One is Biston butyllaria and another one is Biston carbonaria. Biston butyllaria and Biston carbonaria. What happened? Let us see. Industrial melanism. One of the best known example is pipid moth. Biston butyllaria, which underwent natural selection in response to environmental changes caused by industrial process. Before the industrial revolution in the early part of 19th century, the pipid moth Biston butyllaria with a dull grey color was abundant in British woodlands, and it is used to rest on the light colored lichen covered trunks of oak trees. You see here, this is lichen covered trunks. Before the industrial revolution, the environment was so clean and the tree trunks were covered by lichens. It is pale white or grey white colored. So when the light colored Biston butyllaria, this is grey colored, light grey colored Biston butyllaria, rest on these trunks, it was not identified by the predators. It is very difficult for the predators to capture this insect because camouflage, we know, isn't it? It suits to the environment, the color, so that the predators couldn't identify that. But at the same time, the Biston carbonaria, it is black in color. Biston carbonaria is black in color, so that when it rests on this environment, easily it was captured by the predators. So the number of Biston carbonaria was very less and the number of Biston butyllaria was very high before industrial revolution. And after that, what happened? After industrial revolution, more coal was used. Because of the burning of coal, more smoke came and these tree trunks and the environment were covered with the particulate matter, that is the smoke particulate matter, so that the environment become, the tree trunks and all the environment become somewhat black in color, that is very dark, it becomes very dark. When the conditions become like this, this Biston butyllaria was easily identified by the Biston butyllaria, when it rests on these trees with the smoke, that is smoke particles, immediately it is captured by the predator because easily it could be identified, the light grey color could be identified by the predators, whereas this black ones, the Biston carbonaria, was not identified in that environment. Its number increased. Biston carbonaria's number increased, whereas Biston butylaria's number reduced. Then what happened after the industrial revolution? After that, they started using, within 100 years this number increased. After that, they gradually stopped the usage of coal, and they used oil and electricity for running the industries. Then gradually the pollution reduced, the tree trunks got the original color, that is it was just covered by the lichens, and the environment become so light in color. At that time, the number of Biston butyllaria number increased. That happened. That is what is according to the environmental condition, the organisms, the population of the organism increased or decreased. That is the very good example. So what happened? The lichens covered the Biston butyllaria was resting on the lichen covered trunks of oak trees. At that time, the black colored mutants of the moth, the Biston carbonaria, was very rare. However, within a couple of 100 years, the population of black mutant increased to the extent of about 90% before the industrial revolution. The tree trunks used to be covered with grey colored lichens masking the dull grey moth, but the mutant moth was conspicuous due to its black coloration and was therefore more susceptible to predation by the birds. The large scale burning of coal during the Industrial Revolution caused enormous production of smoke, and it resulted in the deposition of particulate matter on tree trunks, turning them black. As the result, the grey colored moth become more conspicuous to predatory birds and hence more susceptible to predation, and thus increasing the production of black moths considerably. This replacement of grey colored moth by dark colored melanic species due to the industrial smoke was called industrial melanism. That is what is called industrial melanism. After that, what happened? When they used oil and electricity, the pollution reduced, smoke deposition reduced. Then the grey colored moth, once again the population arose and their number increased and the black ones number reduced. This is the very good example for industrial melanism. The next example is DDT resistance. DDT resistance to mosquitoes. Actually, this one we discussed already, that is DDT resistance. Before DDT was found out, some of the insects, for example mosquitoes, they had the resistant power to DDT. When the DDT, or before the DDT was used, this population, the mosquitoes which had the resistant genes, the population very less, the population was very less. The number of genes, number of such organism with that resistant power was very less. But when DDT was used, the mosquitoes which had the DDT resistant power increased, whereas other ones died. Due to the usage of DDT, this population increased. So this is also another example for natural selection. These two happened, that's because the nature selected the organism which is favorable to the environment. This is because of natural selection this happened.